With our new program, Look to Lift Others, we're going to come across many, many people that are going to be first timers in regards to the level of compassion and empathy they have for this world. And I've got a story today about a gentleman that I've worked with for a while now who decided to join our program, Look to Lift Others. Absolutely free. Just go to talkdavid.com. You can read all about it and share your own stories. So I'm helping him with something totally different. And at the end of one of our sessions, he says, "Hey, I saw something new on your website. Look to Lift Others." I said, "Yeah." And he said, "You've probably been doing this your whole life, haven't you?" I started laughing. I said, "Actually, I have. I was raised that way, and it's just been a part of who I am." And he said, "Well, I can have compassion for a lot of people, but I can't have compassion for, drunks that are hanging out in front of grocery stores or convenience stores, stumbling." And he goes, "I just have no patience for these people at all." And I said, "Hey, I know it can be hard to, but as long as they're not harming you or affecting you, can you maybe just think of a little grace for them? Maybe just a short prayer as you walk by them?" He said, "I'll think about it." So the next session, he came in and he sat down, and I asked him if he had done his homework for the work that he and I are working on. He said, "Well, I did homework that's more important than what we're working on, David." And I looked at him and I said, "What do you mean?" And he said, our last conversation really had me thinking of how rude I am. And many times I'll make snide comments to women and men who are homeless and alcoholic and they're drunk out of their minds. And, I don't even know if they hear me, but I always have something negative to say. Until I read about your program, and then we talked about it in person. And of course, what happens the very next day after I leave you, I come into a grocery store and there's this woman. You could tell she's homeless and she's drunk. She can talk, but you can tell that she's had quite a few drinks. And she catches my eye and she says, "Excuse me, sir, is there any way that you could buy me an apple or even just one little thing in the store?" Now, this is about the fourth client that has joined this program that has a very similar story. And he said, "At first I looked at her and I was going to tell her no. But then I looked in her eyes. Her face was so wrinkled. I could only imagine the stress and the trauma she's been through in, I don't know how many years she's homeless, but it looks like quite a few years." And something switched in my brain, David. And I started to think about Look to Lift Others. And I looked at her and I said, "Ma'am, no, I can't get you an apple, but let me go get you something more substantial. Let me get you a sandwich." And he went into the store and he had made this huge sandwich. Had this person behind double everything. And then he had her cut it up into like 9 pieces because he saw this woman was so skinny. She could probably eat one little piece at a time and then save it, and it might last her a couple of days. And sure enough, he brings out this huge sandwich and she looks at him. She goes, "That is more than I eat in a week." And he said, "Ma'am, I thought so." He said, "Please enjoy this." And as he walked away, he said, "David, I had the greatest feeling in my heart. And then all of a sudden I thought this, that's someone's mother. That could have been my mother." And it changed everything for me, David. See, this movement is changing people left and right. It's everything I've always wanted. I'm so glad that you're watching. I want you to join us. Go to talkdavid.com. You'll see a banner that says Look to Lift Others. You can read all about the program. You can add your own story. You can read the stories already there. There's more coming in daily. I just want to appreciate your time. Let's look to lift others. Let's change this world. If there's anyone that's going to do it, it's going to be you, me, and everyone involved in this program. And we can. I'm David Essel. Have a wonderful day.